Booklog's touchscreen module is a flexible, streamlined option for cash register processing. With the touchscreen module in place, you'll be able to ring up high-volume sales items without even scanning them. You'll be able to create menus for items you sell regularly and group them together by items that are regularly sold together. The touchscreen module is designed to fit any screen, which makes it ideal for use on a Windows tablet. In fact, with the touchscreen module, which doesn't require a mouse or scanner to ring up sales, a Windows tablet is the only device you need to process mobile sales quickly and seamlessly. Booklog's touchscreen module got a big upgrade in version 18. In this video, we'll be showing you the upgraded touchscreen module with the functionality and look and feel it got with the release of version 18. If you're on a version of Booklog older than version 18, we encourage you to upgrade. After that upgrade, you'll need an encrypted key to unlock the interface. Be sure to ask Booklog tech support for that key. One of the major differences between the touchscreen and non-touchscreen registers is that the non-touchscreen register requires cashiers to use a combination of menu functions, buttons, open fields, shortcuts, and keystrokes to make a sale. The touchscreen register centralizes that functionality and streamlines it into a set of buttons. This makes learning the register an easy process for new hires, and it keeps the logic of the register consistent. Because the touchscreen module is so button-driven, you've got the option to choose which buttons you would like to highlight. You can choose what order, and even what colors, to use for your main function buttons. To design your touchscreen register in a way appropriate to your store, click the Maintenance menu and choose Touchscreen, then Main Function Configuration. Here, you can group your buttons by category so that they appear on this list in a way that makes sense to you. What category you assign to a function is totally up to you. Register Items functions are functions that you would use when changing something about a specific item in a sale. Some examples of these would be changing the discount of an item, or changing its tax status. Cash register functions are functions that affect a total sale, like Quick Return, which would initiate a refund, or Cancel Sale, which would delete a sale and refresh the cash register window. Customer functions, like customer lookups or special orders, are register functions that apply to the customer specifically. And general functions are functions like reprinting receipts, opening the cash drawer, or using the time clock. Functions that don't apply to a sale that is underway, but still involve the register. Again, the grouping of these items is completely up to you as the designer of your own register. You can also change the order in which they appear on the register. The list order sorts by tens. Assigning 10 to the button ensures that it appears first. Assigning 20 sets that button to appear second. You may decide to group the items together by the category you have assigned to them, or you may decide to put them in an order that you think your cashiers will expect when they're using the register. It's up to you. You can also choose what color you would like to use for each button. Maybe these colors will identify the function of the button. For instance, all your register item functions could be medium turquoise. On the other hand, maybe you would just like to choose a color scheme that makes these buttons look good on your register. If there's a button you see here for a function you don't use, maybe you don't use the time clock for instance, or don't do rentals, you can hide that button by unchecking the Visible box for it. Designing your own register window is fun, but it's only the first step in making the touchscreen module work for you. One of the key functions of the touchscreen module is that it allows you to create menus of items that you sell without scanning. Once it's properly configured, the touchscreen module lets you sell items with the touch of a button. The item buttons are ideal for food service sales, high sales volume items, or items that can accommodate a barcode label. When you punch or click on an item button, Booklog rings the item up without scanning its barcode. To create an item button for use in the register, go to the Maintenance menu, click Touchscreen, and then Item Menu Button Configuration. Click the New button and scan or search for the item you want to associate with that button. For instance, if you want this button to bring up an item that you don't want to scan in order to sell, either because punching a button rather than scanning the item is faster for your cashiers, or because you can't attach a barcode to the item, then you can select that item here. Then give the button a name that reflects which item it's attached to. You can color code these buttons just as you could with the buttons for the register functions. If you would like to give several of them the same color, then you can click the Select boxes for them and click the Set Button Colors button. You can choose a color and apply it to all the buttons you selected. Just as before, you can set the order for these buttons. And if you only want to show some of the buttons at specific times, you can leave them in the list but uncheck the visible box for them. Then when it's time to show the items again, you can check their visible boxes again. The touchscreen can break your menu items down even further into submenu items. Submenus are lists of items that you curate for your cashiers, grouping them together so that your cashiers can find items quickly and easily. For instance, if you want to put items that customers tend to buy together into the same submenu, your cashiers may find it easier to process those sales. As with so many parts of the touchscreen module, the submenu structure is ideal for cafe and food service items. To create a submenu, go to the Maintenance menu, click Touchscreen, and then Submenu Configuration. Use the New button to create the new submenu, then name it. As with the other configuration windows you've seen, you can assign a color and list order to the menus here. Once you've created the new submenu, you'll be able to add items to it. To do so, go back to the Maintenance menu and click Touchscreen. Then click Submenu Item Configuration. Add new items to this list just as you did when you were assigning Item Menus buttons. Click New Item and scan in an item that you want to associate with the button. Name the button and give it a color and list order, and assign it to one of your submenus. Now that you've done the work to configure your touchscreen register, it's time to start using it. To enable the touchscreen register on a specific workstation, go to the Maintenance menu on that workstation and click Workstation. Then double-click on your workstation. Check the Enable Touchscreen box, and this workstation will use the touchscreen register by default. You can also make choices about how you would like the register to display on this workstation. Will cashiers at this register find it more efficient to work with your menu items than with the standard register functions? If so, change your default menu setting from Main to Item so that the items are the first thing your cashiers see when they bring up the register at this station. If this workstation is a PC and not a tablet, maybe you would like the register to resize itself so you can see more of the functions and item information as you scan. If that's the case, then under Sizing choose Proportional. The items will appear smaller on your screen and won't resize automatically if you're using a tablet. If you are using a tablet, leaving this setting at Win Size is your best bet. This allows Booklog to adjust the touchscreen's appearance to fit your screen. If you're ringing up large sales at this workstation and it's useful for you to be able to sort the items in your sale, then you can change the Item Listing option from Fixed, which adjusts each field in the register to display all the available data, to Grid. In a grid display, you may need to scroll to the right to see all the data about each item, but you can sort the columns in the register just like you can in a pick list. Now that you've configured and activated your touchscreen register, it's time to start ringing up some sales. As we mentioned before, the functions that are available in menus, shortcuts, and keystrokes in the non-touchscreen register are gathered together into buttons in the touchscreen register. To look up a customer, you can punch the name blank and start typing, or you can punch the customer lookup button. To bring an item into the sale, you can scan it, or punch the item lookup button, or if you've configured this item as a menu item or submenu item, find it in the appropriate list. Once you have an item in the sale, you can add a discount, change its price or quantity just by punching the appropriate button. When you're done, just punch the Process button and allocate the payment to the correct tinder or tinders. You'll find buttons in the touchscreen module for reprinting receipts, printing an X-tape, and opening the cash drawer, functions that would require you to use a keystroke or click through a menu in the non-touchscreen register. We hope this tour of the touchscreen module has been helpful. To see other videos like this one, check out and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It will answer questions you didn't even know you had.